So what happens when OPEC turns on the taps and starts pumping millions more barrels of oil onto the global marketplace? I'm talking about dollars and cents. I'm also talking about power. This is something people don't talk about. They just say OPEC's increasing production and gas prices are going to fall, oil prices are going to crash. What does it really mean, though? Because it's not just about supply and demand at all. It's about power, revenue. It's about who controls energy. So I'm going to break down some numbers for you. These numbers are, I find, rather shocking. So if you don't know, OPEC has been gradually reversing production cuts from years ago. Over 4 million barrels a day total, they're going to add back to the market. That is a significant amount of oil. It's somewhere between 4 and 5% of global demand. So you have OPEC wanting their market share back. How much market share? Between about 4.5% or so of global demand. That is massive. When you think about the scale of the world economy, and they are doing it for market share, because OPEC doesn't just want high oil prices. They want to make sure that they aren't losing long-term customers to competitors like the United States specifically, and also Canada, Brazil. And if OPEC succeeds, and I do believe they will, because they've never not succeeded at this, their global market share will rise by a few percentage points. And, that may not sound like a lot, but in oil markets, a fraction of a percent is massive. We're talking tens of billions of dollars a year, probably over $100 billion a year easily in additional revenue for OPEC nations. If they fully restore over 4 million barrels, and I've done this at different price points because the price will change. At $70 oil, that's over $100 billion a year. And you're going to say, well, oil's not $70. It will be. It will be. As soon as they damage the U.S. market enough, it will be. For sure. But pumping more oil doesn't guarantee more money. That's the thing. If the market can't absorb it, then the prices will crash. Demand will slow down. So that extra revenue can quickly evaporate. But OPEC can handle that. That's the whole gamble with OPEC is once they knock us down, they can then cut that production and we won't bring it back for a long time. A very long time. So if over the next 2 years, at a $70 average, it's easily over $100 billion a year. But, even at 60, it's 90. Even at 60, it's $90 billion a year. But even more importantly, it's the control of the market they have. It's the damage they do to the U.S. oil and gas sector, to the Canadian oil and gas sector. Because what they will absolutely do is when all this is over with, and we've been knocked down and weakened, they will then cut that production and those oil prices will skyrocket. And we will spend years trying to catch up with oil prices at Lord knows where they could be. Say $100 a barrel. Could easily. And then we spend 3 years trying to restore that. And during those 3 years, what are they making at $100 a barrel? $130 billion a year. So there's a lot of money at stake here. There's a lot of power and control at stake. The U.S. oil and gas industry, is their share of losses, what they're going to lose in this whole deal, is somewhere between $50 and $60 billion a year. That's what they're going to lose in lost production and revenues. And that will bleed back to the Treasury. They get a cut of that. The states that get a cut of that in oil producing states, the communities, it's going to have significant economic effects on oil producing states and a lot of small towns in places like Texas and Oklahoma that really depend on oil and gas revenue and oil and gas activity. That's going to be crushing to them. There are towns in my state where easily 30% of the total tax revenue of the town is from oil and gas operations, 40% even, and some. It's not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. But with more market share, more money, comes more leverage, more power, more control, more negotiating power and leverage. This is not just about money. This is about a lot of things. And so that's why they're doing this. And people in the United States will reap benefits through lower gas prices. But that will be temporary. That will be very temporary. On a long enough timeline, you're basically going to pay the same amount for gas. You're either going to pay for it today or you're going to pay for it tomorrow, but eventually you're going to pay for it. Some years you might pay $4. Some years you might pay $3. But on a long enough timeline, you're always going to pay that $3.50. I mean, that's just how it works. That's how it works. So that's basically what's at stake with OPEC right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Really appreciate all my new followers and subscribers. Get back, maybe go outside. It's raining today. It's raining. It's just a nice, cool, rainy day. I might need to go touch grass. You guys have a great Sunday.